The movie begins with Judd explaining what is happening. Judd was once a boxer. During a match, he killed a man in the ring. The guilt never left him. Because of that, he quit boxing and turned to religion. He began training to become a priest, hoping to leave his violent past behind. But Judd's anger was still inside him. One day, he lost control and hit another priest named Deacon. Because of this, the church sent him away. Judd was transferred to a small, failing parish called Our Lady of Perpetual Fortitude, run by Monsignor Wicks. Judd arrived at the church, where Wicks welcomed him and introduced himself. Soon after, a woman named Martha appeared, and Wicks introduced her as well. Wicks then asked Judd to hear his confession. During it, Wicks admitted his jealousy toward rich people and his struggle with masturbation. His beliefs were harsh. He preached fear and shame. He believed strict control and punishment were the only way to guide people. Wicks had a small group of regular followers. Whenever a newcomer entered the church, Wicks attacked them during his sermons. Most visitors walked out before the sermon ended. Wicks did not want new people. He only wanted his loyal flock. This flock included several members. Martha Draw was his strongest supporter. She defended Wicks, enforced his rules, and stayed loyal to him at all times. She also carried and repeated the story of Wicks' mother, who was labeled a harlot. Long before these events, the church was led by Wicks' grandfather, Apprentice Wicks. His daughter, Grace Wicks, was also known as the harlot. She was kind, rebellious, and wanted a life beyond the church's control. She became pregnant by a man her father disapproved of. Apprentice Wicks promised her his fortune if she stayed loyal to the church. She waited for him to die. When he did, she asked for the money, but the lawyer gave her only a toy marked with an Eve's apple tag. Furious, Grace destroyed the church, attacked young Martha, and later died from a head injury at her father's tomb. The parish had other members as well. Samson Hold was the church's groundskeeper. Vera Draven was a lawyer who had an adopted son named Cy. When Vera had just finished law school, her father brought Cy home and asked her to raise him. As he grew older, Cy tried to enter politics and started a YouTube channel where he uploaded Wicks' sermons. There was also Dr. Nat Sharp, a local doctor who fell into alcoholism after his wife left him. He always wore a ring. Another follower was Lee Ross, a science fiction writer who believed Wicks had opened his mind. Lee was writing a large book about him called The Holy Man and the Troubadour. The final member of the flock was Simone Vaughn, a world-class cellist who retired due to health problems. She believed Wicks could heal her and supported him with money. Judd believed these people followed Wicks out of fear, not faith. He gathered them for a private meeting and told them they could confess anything to him. He also shared his concerns about Wicks. The group did not like meeting without their leader. They left the room, criticizing Judd. One day, Judd saw Martha leave the confessional, looking shaken. Moments later, Wicks stepped out as well, his face troubled. Soon after, Holy Week began. On Palm Sunday, Judd and Wicks sat across from each other and exchanged confessions. Wicks confessed his habits, and Judd admitted that he had been investigating Wicks's followers. Hearing this, Wicks became furious. He struck Judd and claimed that the world was trying to destroy them. Cy secretly recorded the entire incident. Later, Judd interrupted a private meeting between Wicks and his loyal flock. Wicks reacted angrily and threw a book at him. Judd ran away. That night, Judd went to a bar and drank heavily. While there, he picked up a devil head lamp top. On his way back, he threw it at the church. Samson, the groundskeeper, heard the noise and called out, asking who was there. After finishing a sermon, Wicks went into the chamber behind the altar. Judd stayed behind to pray. Soon, he heard a strange sound. When he went to check, he found Wicks lying on the floor with blood on his back. Dr. Nat quickly warned everyone not to touch anything. Martha began screaming and blamed Satan for what had happened. The police arrived and questioned Judd. They showed him the video of his argument with Wicks. Detective Benoit then arrived and took over the investigation, asking Judd to help. Together, they examined the body and later visited the bar. There, They discovered that a devil head lamp was missing and found signs that the murder may have involved remote-controlled equipment. Suspicion grew when Judd admitted that he had hidden Wicks's flask to protect his reputation. Later, during preparations for Wicks's funeral, Judd noticed an order letter for a machine used to open the church crypt. The letter was dated before the murder, which raised even more questions. One night, Judd followed two figures leaving the crypt. Suddenly, he was shot. When he woke up, he found Sampson's dead body nearby. Later, security footage showed a figure that looked like Wicks walking into the woods. Judd tried to turn himself into the police, believing he was responsible. However, Benoit stopped him and took him to Dr. Nat's house instead. In the basement, they discovered a bathtub filled with acid. Nearby were Wicks's body and another skeleton, which they identified as Dr. Nat. Back at the church, Benoit revealed the truth. Wicks had been drugged using a powerful tranquilizer placed in his flask. A blade hidden in his vestments was triggered remotely by Dr. Nat, making it look like a sudden attack. Dr. Nat later replaced the blade and staged the crime scene. However, he could not find the flask afterward. Benoit explained that Judd had taken it earlier to hide Wicks's drinking problem. As questions grew, Benoit admitted that even though he now understood the truth, there was no clear way to fully prove it. This angered and shocked the people in the church, and they slowly left. Moments later, Martha returned to the church and finally agreed to face the truth. She began confessing to Father Judd. She explained that when Father Apprentice died, he was buried with a valuable diamond and swore that the secret would be protected. Grace later learned about the diamond and searched the church for it on the night of her death. Martha had kept this secret for years. Judd then realized that she had confessed the truth to the wrong priest earlier. Martha finally admitted that Wicks had ordered the tools to open the crypt so he could steal the diamond. To protect everyone and keep the secret hidden, she planned for Wicks's death to appear mysterious and unsolvable. She asked Dr. Nat to help her and planted the flask as part of the plan. That night, Sampson was placed in the coffin. When Dr. Nat gave the signal, he entered the crypt, took the diamond, and left. Later, when Martha confronted Dr. Nat, he admitted everything. Wanting the diamond and the power it represented, Dr. Nat killed Sampson to keep it for himself. When Martha learns the full truth, she realizes that Dr. Nat has poisoned her drink. As soon as he is distracted, she secretly switches the cups and kills Dr. Nat instead. After confessing everything, Martha chooses to die with the diamond. Overcome with guilt, she poisons herself. 1 year later, some former members of the congregation try to confront Judd and Benoit. They threaten to take the case to court, but neither of them gives in. In the end, the jewel is hidden safely inside the statue, and the story comes to a close. Thanks for watching. If you like the recap, please do like and subscribe for more videos. And don't forget to watch full movie for best experience.